This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, good morning. Are you able to hear me? Please confirm.
Yeah, Nikhil.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
Nikhil.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes,
Thank you
Nikhil.
so much.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So, as you all know, this is the first session of July 2024 batch. Okay, so let me quickly start with what is my agenda for this training? What is the expectation from you? What is the course content that we are going to cover as a part of this training? And what are the topics we are going to cover today? And we will cover few basics of the course content today. So, regarding my agenda for this training, so this training duration is for 3 months. Okay. And what is the course content we are planning to cover in this training? So, we are going to cover the CSA and CSSA content. Now, many of you may have doubt what is CSA and CSSA. So, CSA and CSSA are two certifications in Pega. CSA means Certified System Architect. It's a junior level certification. SSA is senior level certification. So, in order to work in Pega, certification is mandatory. And I request everyone to go and write down the certification right away, because when you apply for the jobs, they look for certifications which are past dated. Okay. So, how can I write the certification without even learning the content? So please reach me in person. I'm going to help you on those things. But it is mandatory to have a past dated certification. As old it is, that much stronger proof it is that you are working on Pega from a very long time. Okay. So please do your certifications as early as possible, so that by the end of the training, it will be at least 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months old. Okay. So in the training, I'm going to cover everything that is required for a developer with 8 to 10 years of experience to work in day to day life. Whatever we do, generic things, is going to be covered as a part of the training. So I said generic things. So, if you take all the Pega developers, whatever we use in day to day life, everything is going to be covered. Or whatever, generally they keep asking in the interviews, they expect from you, that content is all going to be covered as a part of the training. So the course content is displayed on my website. So you can just visit my website and you can just click on the courses here and you can see the content. So let me show you the content in a Word document first. So we are going to discuss about what is Pega and what are the various studios, how to install Pega, and this 1 and 2 we are going to discuss today. Okay. Then the next topics are security in Pega, ECS, okay, inheritance, case types, flows, user interface, rule sets, data elements, debugging tools, data classes, activities, data transforms. Ignore the number of hours written next to it. This is generally for the corporate trainings, not for you. Okay, we spend more hours on these topics. Corporate trainings we do only for 7 working days or 5 working days. So the number of hours are limited according to that. Okay, you please don't consider these hours. Coming to the advanced topics, we are going to dive deep into data pages, SLAs, okay, then decision rules, declaratives, background processing, reporting, file listeners, admin studio work, SOAP and REST integrations, and finally deployments. Apart from this, I'm also going to talk about the real time work culture. Like I'm going to talk about, what is CI/CD, what is Scrum, what is Agile, what is story pointing, what are the various Scrum meetings we have, what is the role of a Scrum Master and the various roles in the Pega project. What is the work of an admin team, what is the work of a dev team, what is the work of a production support team, what is the work of an engineering team. So all this, this IT culture or the work culture is also going to be taught to you. So, why am I teaching you all these things? Because nowadays in the interviews, people want to filter out who is fake versus who is real experienced. So, what people are doing is they're trying to ask these kind of questions. Okay, so the process related questions, the team related questions they're asking. So, if you are technically strong, but if you don't know about all these things, there's a chance that you might be caught in case if you don't have a real time experience. So, as a part of the training, along with the actual Pega thing, I'm going to cover all these things as well. So we also talk about the various tools we use in real time to capture the requirements like Jira, ALM, Rally, how we capture it. So all those are going to be taught to you. So which is going to help you in a longer run when you actually attend the interviews. Okay. Now what next? This is about the content. Now, what are the session timings? So we will have sessions only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday morning it is 7 to 9, Saturday and Sunday it is 7 to 10. So total 8 hours per week we are connecting live. Okay, 8 hours we are connecting live. Now, what about rest of the 4 days? Rest of the 4 days you're going to do a homework project. So there are two real-time projects which we are covering as a part of this training. One is a healthcare application and the other one is a banking application. So healthcare application is a homework project. Banking is a classwork project. Now, when are you going to do healthcare and when are you going to do the banking? So practicals will start from day 5 or day 6 of the training. Okay, so initial 4 to 5 days is all about the theory. So then we'll start the practicals. And from then onwards, theory and practical will go hand in hand. So if I have taught you theory on reporting topic today. Immediately, right away, you're going to do practical on reporting in banking project in the class. Now, Monday to Thursday, you're going to do reporting topic hands-on on healthcare project. So this way, whatever topic is being taught to you, same topic you're going to implement twice, once in the classwork, once in the homework. So this way, you're getting much familiar with that topic. So in the banking project, it's like a spoon feeding. I'm going to show you the navigation. I'm going to show you by the creating the rules. I'm going to give you the video. I'm going to give you the screenshots. You look at it and you practice. Healthcare, I will just give you the requirement. Nothing else will be there. This is what I want. That is what I'm going to mention in that. Now it is your responsibility to think and implement and give me the output. Now, how I'm going to validate whether you have done it or not? Every Sunday, I randomly ask for a screenshot of any person who is in the session and I check what you have completed. Did you complete banking till date? Did you complete healthcare till date or not? So please make sure you complete them and you are available for the screen shares. Now, so these are the projects we are covering and you are going to get domain knowledge as well. Okay, so whenever some companies hire, they also look for domain knowledge. So that is also being taught to you as a part of this training. And they are actual real time projects which I have worked. So I can give you the client names and the project descriptions. Same clients or similar clients you can put with the same project descriptions you can put in your resume. Now, what about the interview coaching? Okay. Whenever a particular topic is being taught to you, on the same day, I'm going to cover the interview questions. If that topic has interview questions, okay? Don't expect me to tell you interview questions on every single topic which is in the agenda because not on every topics the interviewer is going to evaluate you, right? So there are some topics which are frequently asked in the interviews. So whenever a topic is being taught to you, if I know that oh this topic is being questioned in the interviews, I'm going to cover that questions then and there. And how am I going to evaluate you? Once in every 2 weeks. Okay. So you're going to have mock interviews once in every 2 weeks. Once in every 2 weeks, there'll be a mock. Okay. So how is this going to benefit you? By the end of the 3 months training program, okay, you guys may not recollect everything that was taught to you in this 3 months. You're new to this technology, yet you're still in the learning phase. See, people ourselves, when we take a break in the career or when we go on a maternity leave or something, we ourselves forget the concepts, despite of being working for a long run. So you guys learning something new, and if you are not, practicing the topic from 1 month or two, 100% you will forget it. So what we are doing is in the mock interviews, I'm going to brush you or ask you questions on all the topics which are completed till that day. So if I'm day 10, day 1 to day 10, whatever is taught, I'll ask you questions. Day 15, day 1 to day 15, whatever I have taught you, I'm going to ask questions. So this way, you're going to be brushed up on all the topics from day 1 to day 30 or day 1 to day 90 on every single mock interview. So which means after the training, I don't want my people to say, Nikhila, I'm still preparing for the interviews, I need to brush up, I need one more month time. I don't want to listen such kind of things. So that is the reason we are conducting mock interviews every 2 weeks. Now, how does I get to know the interview questions? I participate or I take up interviews almost like at least 3 calls per week. So I attend interviews. So that way, I'm very much familiar with the interview questions. And I'm going to share you interview call recordings, which I have attended. So almost like you'll get from more than 25 companies. Okay. So 25 companies call recordings are going to be shared to you just to utilize them in the best possible way. So if you listen to them, you get to know what are the topics being focused, what are the scenario based questions, what are the examples I'm giving, what is my approach in answering those questions, all that you are going to learn. Okay. And also, like, what are the non technology related questions they are asking you. So all this you get to know with those question, call recordings. That is going to actually boost up your confidence and accelerate your confidence in the interviews. So this actually helps you a lot. Okay. Now coming to the resume preparation. So I'm going to give you as many sample resumes as you want. Okay. So you can take them and you can put the project descriptions that I'm giving you and prepare your resumes. How about the job assistance? So I have a lot of referrals because I have been into these trainings and into the IT industry for more than a decade. I have been in the IT for more than 17 years and into this training since 2011. So my contacts are huge and I have a lot of people providing referrals. Even if you check my WhatsApp status right now, there is an employee referral which I have posted for Infosys. So we provide referrals. Whatever openings I get to know in the market, I post them in the status in the groups. And whatever contacts I have with the HRs and consultancies, whenever I get to know about an opportunity, I'm going to share it with you. Okay. So you have to be technically strong to clear the interviews and interview ready by the time I provide the offers. So if you're still in the learning phase, that may not be of any use to you. Okay. So this is about what is the thing that I'm going to do in the next 3 months to make sure that all my trainees are going to be placed in the dream companies with the dream packages. Okay. Now, if you have any FAQs, please make sure that you just watch my demo video, which is posted on the YouTube last week. Because there we have answered about the careers in Pega, the packages in Pega, certifications, how long Pega will exist. All these questions we have answered in the FAQ section of the demo session. So anything other than that about the training, you have any queries, feel free to ask me now. So we are open up for the questions. Any questions, guys? Okay, super. Okay. Now, what is the expectation from you guys to make sure that we get the best out of the training? Guys, I have seen batches where 80% of the people got placed. I have seen batches where less than 10 people got placed. Now, what is the difference? Trainer is same, content is same, everything is same. So I have batches which are a big hit. I had batches which are a big flop. So what makes the difference? Simple. Point number one, make sure you attend more than 90% of the sessions live. Okay, as much as possible. Never ever skip a live session. Even if you are not up to the track, you're not on track. Maybe you missed couple of sessions, you didn't find time to watch the recording. Still be a part of the live training. Never ever miss a live session. So if you miss a live session and you stop watching recordings, and again because of that reason you stop attending the next live, this is going to be a backlog for you, and you'll be completely out of the track and out of the batch. So never ever miss a live session, guys. Just in case if you end up in a scenario where you couldn't attend a live, make sure at least you connect from the mobile. Plug in your headset or Bluetooth, connect from the mobile and try to attend. At least try that way. Okay. Make sure you have 90% attendance in the next 3 months in my trainings. Second thing is like be the most active person in the WhatsApp group. So the WhatsApp group was created with an intention that I want you people to do a group practice. I want you people to resolve each other's issues, debug each other's issues, support each other. Now, I'm a part of the WhatsApp group. I'm the primary person whom you need to reach out if you have any issues. But I want others to help each other because I'm an expert in that. If you get an issue, I can just jump in and give you the solution. But when you help each other, that is the place actually, you are going to learn much in depth about the topic. Okay, these kind of issues you may get tomorrow when you actually join a company. Then who is going to help you? Okay, you are going to put some experience on Pega and you're going to join. So if you make this kind of layman mistakes, you may be caught or it doesn't give a good impression to the team on you, right? And you may get frustrated or start hiring somebody for a job support. So if you don't want that to happen in the future, be the most active person in the group in answering each other's queries. If you don't know something, keep quiet. Please don't give any wrong answers. But if you think you can help the person in getting that issue resolved, please try to answer them in the group, help them in the group. If you have time, connect with them on a screen share and help them. So that is a great learning from you, because we have like good number of people in the training, right? Everybody makes a unique mistake. Now when you resolve their issues, it's a great learning for you. Trust me, that's going to be great learning. When I teach you, I only teach you the happy path. If you configure like this output will come. That's it, all good. But when you practice, you make a lot of mistakes, and you have to learn from everybody's mistake. So that is going to help you. So please make sure you be the most active person in the WhatsApp group even after 3 months of the training program, because every time you solve a mistake, it's a learning. You are going to learn the same configuration in multiple ways. Okay. Third thing is, never ever rely on the recordings. Don't think that because I have a recording, I can watch it later, no need to attend live. No, guys. After certain amount of time, you will even lose the interest. Recordings will lie in your machine and you're not going to make use of them. Okay. Next, the most important thing, attend the mock interviews every 2 weeks. I have seen my flop batches in where, people used to skip the mock interviews. Whenever I say, guys, we have a mock interview on this Sunday, that's it. The strength comes less than half on that day. Hey, it's not a real interview, man. It's just a mock. I'm just going to pick a random person and ask you questions. It's fine even if you don't answer. That is perfectly okay. So the reason of mock interviews, I'm going to evaluate what did you understand on the topic. I'm going to evaluate, the examples that you're giving on the topic. I'm going to boost up your confidence. If you're speaking low or if you're feeling less confident, I'm going to boost up that. So various corrections are going to happen in the mock interviews, which adds up value to the actual interviews. So 100% make sure you're a part of the mock interview and never skip that. Okay. Next thing, please look after all your technical issues. So whenever we connect to a training, if I find somebody missing, the answer I get from them is, Nikhila, it is raining here, so I don't have a proper Wi-Fi. My microphone is not working, my headset is not working. I practice in a different laptop. I am unable to show you the issue in current screen. So please get rid of all such things. Okay, this 3 months is extremely important for you and me to see some fruits in the career in the later run. Okay, consider this as a high priority. Your training is extremely a high priority. Whatever comes in the way, try to put it apart. Don't tell me later, Nicola, I couldn't attend the batch because of family issues, because of work issues. Please don't answer such things. Make this as a high priority from day one itself. Okay, because I'm telling you, these are the things that made students to not achieve their goals after the training. Okay, but if you are aware of these things and you are in a alert mode on these things, trust me, you'll enjoy the fruits of it. I had people who are placed immediately after the 3 months training as well. Okay, so I want most of you to be in that zone, not in the other way. Okay, make life at most important. Make mock interviews the maximum, attend maximum mock interviews. Be the most active person in the WhatsApp group in resolving each other's issues. Okay, I'm talking about resolving it. And also do group practice. People who are coming from a long career gap and people who are coming from this non-IT backgrounds, please try to practice with other people in the group. Ping them in person, see if they're comfortable to practice with you and practice with them. That is going to accelerate the way which you learn, because you have a long gap or non-IT, it takes time for you to grab the things. So if you tie up with these guys, it's going to speed up the way you are learning the things. So form batches, do the way that way. It's actually going to work out Very good. Because it's just like, going to a gym with your friend. You're not going to skip it. So that's how it is. Okay. So these are few things, I expect from my trainees in the next 3 months to reach our goals. Okay. Now we are going to jump to the actual agenda for today. So the actual agenda for today is I'm just going to come up with what is PEGA and what is BPM. Yes, this is covered in the demo, but most of you are not in the live demo or haven't watched the recording. So as it is a day one training, we are going to start with a quick recap of these things, followed by the studios and the roles in a PEGA project, installation, and walkthrough of the dev portal we are going to do today. Any questions before we jump into the actual content?
No, Nikhila, we are good.
Okay, be active, guys.
No.
Just say yes, no, okay, because that way, you're
Right.
putting your brain in the active mode. Because we woke up very early in the morning and it's on a weekend, right? So even answering a yes and no also activates the things. So just be active. Why do you want to sit like that? That's okay, right? Now, let's move ahead. So we'll cover whatever we did in the demo once again. So just because it's a day one session. So what is PEGA and what is PRPC? Guys, you know what is PEGA. I mean, like, what you know the word PEGA, but you may or may not know the word PRPC. Please realize that PRPC and PEGA are one and the same. PRPC means PEGA Rules Process Commander. This was the old name of PEGA. Okay, nowadays everybody is calling us PEGA, but the old name of it is PRPC, PEGA Rules Process Commander. So if you find anywhere PRPC, please understand that it is just PEGA. Okay. Now, what is PEGA? Somebody is not on mute. Please go on mute. There's a background noise. Now, what is PEGA? PEGA is basically a software, a tool which is used to build web applications. What is web application? Applications that are hosted on the web. Google, Amazon, Mintra, HDFC.com, Citibank.com. What are all these? Web applications hosted on the web. Everybody can use it. So Pega is a tool which is used to build web applications. Oh, can't we build mobile applications? No. You can build mobile apps in Pega as well. Both web apps and mobile apps can be built on Pega. So what is Pega? It's basically a tool. It's a platform where we build web applications. Now, is Pega different from Java, .NET and all these things? Java is a language. C++ are languages. Pega is different. This is not a language. Okay, it's a tool, just like .NET. It's a tool, right? The same way. Now, what is the difference between then all these things and Pega? Pega is a low coding tool or a no coding tool. I am not saying this. That is the motto of Pega. The main motto or the tagline of Pega is no coding tool. Okay, they don't want the developers of Pega to do any kind of coding. Why is that so? The reason is if you code, the amount of time that takes you to deliver a product is high rather than a no coding tool. Suppose if you ask me to design a page using Java, I may need to write at least like 100 lines or 200 lines or more than that of code to generate that. Now, when I write code, a lot of issues will come. I have to debug it, fix it, and then deploy it. Whereas if you use some built in tools like Pega, everything in that is built in. Like I want a button, it is built in, drag and drop. I want an image, built in, drag and drop. I want a hyperlink, built in, drag and drop. So when you do all such kind of configurations, I'm not building the things from the scratch. I'm only configuring them. When you're configuring it, the amount of time taken to develop a web application is very less, and the amount of time we spend in debugging the code is very, very less. So Pega is actually helping us develop applications and deploy applications very fast. We say like 12 times, 18 times faster than the traditional tools like Java, .NET and all these things. Because everything is already built in Pega. We just need to learn how to use them and use it. So if it is the UI means user interface, means screens. Okay. So if it is a screen building, it's all about drag and drops. If it is anything about the functionality, okay, then it is all about learning the methods and functions and configuring them. So it is pretty easy to work on Pega. Even a non-technical person can build an application in Pega very easily. And that is the main goal of Pega as well. Because if you take years and years to build a project and get into the market, you will lose the client base, right? So somebody may come before you. So if you want to be the first person in the market, you should launch the app first. You should launch the website first. You should launch the feature first. You have Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, many UPI payments are there. Whoever comes the first will grab the most market. The person who comes next, it takes time for them to settle down, to be accepted by the customers and all these things, right? So when you want to grab the market, you should be the first person in the market. Now, so Pega comes under BPM. What is Pega? Pega is a BPM product. Okay, now what is this BPM again? See, in the IT industry, okay, we have some methodologies. Just like, when you buy a product, you see this ISI, UGMARK, different brandings will be there, right? This is ISA approved, this is FDA approved, this is UGMARK. So you have something like that, right? Similarly, in the IT industry, for tools and technologies, we have some markings like this comes under BPM, this comes under CRM, this comes under this thing. So we have some things like that. You can say branding, but actually it is a methodology. Okay, so they come under certain methodology. So Pega comes under BPM methodology. You need not learn much about BPM, guys. It's just good to know that, okay, Pega is a BPM tool. Now, what are the other BPM tools in the market? We have Appian, we have Tipco, we have Cordis, Lombardi, IBM BPM, Oracle BPM. Lot of BPM products are there in the market. Okay, and the competitor for Pega is Appian, but still it's way beyond. Okay, it's not as good as Pega. But all these things are BPM products, and BPM, the topmost, the best product of BPM is Pega. Okay, why? Because of the various, easy configurations we have in Pega, and the scalability, the flexibility, lot of things come into the picture. Okay, so considering all those things, Pega is the best thing. So what do you mean by scalability and flexibility? See, when we use Pega, we don't use Pega for a single application in a single state or a single country. We launch that applications in various areas, in various regions, various countries, and following various government rules, following various languages. We expand the applications, we expand the businesses. So the tool which you are using should be supportive. It should be able to support all those things. So Pega is one such tool, which is very much scalable and flexible. Other thing is like, Pega has almost everything that is trending in the IT industry. Like it has RPA, it has machine learning, it has this chat GPT, chatbot, everything, IoT, almost everything we do in Pega. So I don't see much drawbacks over there. So that is the reason it is one of the most trending hotcake BPM products in the industry. Now, please understand that Pega is not a language, it is not a database. It's neither a language nor a database. What is Pega? It is just a tool where we are going to build some web applications. Now, the best part with Pega is you can build an application end to end. Now, those who are learning Pega directly may not know what does she mean by end to end. What is so special about it. If you have worked on Java or .NET or any other coding languages in building the project, like Python or something, you get to know why am I highlighting it. Like you can build a project end to end in Pega, because on other tools and technologies, we rely on multiple tools to complete a project end to end. Okay, for reporting we use separate tools, for deployment we use separate tools, for version controlling we use separate tools. So like this we use multiple tools to complete a project end to end in other technologies. That's not the case in Pega. If I just learn only Pega end to end, I can build a project end to end. I need not rely or learn any other tool or technology. Guys who are coming from a non-IT background, you may not understand, some of the words. Okay, but when we actually dive deep into the training, I'm going to explain all these terminologies which I'm speaking. You may not understand what is deployment, you may not understand what is version controlling. So as we dive deep into the training and we go to those topics, I'm going to explain them in detail. Okay, so don't panic now if you hear such kind of terminologies from me. Okay, so in Pega, we are going to build end-to-end application in just the Pega tool. I don't need to go and learn this Bitbucket or Ansible or something like that, for version controlling deployments and all these things. Okay. Similarly, everything we can do in the same Pega tool itself. So that is one best part from this. Next, what type of applications do you build on Pega? See, generally most of the applications built on Pega are intranet, not internet. What is the difference between internet and intranet? Intranet means these applications work only within a specific network. Means, let's say for example, uh, there is a application called as Book My Show, right? What is that? It is internet. I can open Book My Show either from my office or from my home, or while I'm traveling on a train or a flight, right? It's internet. I can open it anywhere. Whereas you go to the movie hall and you book a ticket in the movie hall itself, right? So employee is going to use an application to book your ticket. That particular application is internal to that employee's company network. He can't access that application while at home or while traveling or while somewhere else. He can only access that application only when he is in office. That is intranet application. Okay. Similarly, take another example. Let's say, for example, you have Swiggy and Zomato. You can order food from home, right? So this is intranet because I can access the application anywhere in the world I am. Now, whereas you go to this, Pizza Hut and you order a pizza there. Now, that particular application which the user uses to book your pizza is going to be accessible only within his office network. If he comes out of that network, he can't access it, right? So, those are called as intranet applications. Now, using Pega, generally we build intranet. Now, please, Pega can be used to build internet applications as well. 10% of the applications are internet and 80 to 90% are on intranet. Okay, so don't think that Pega can't be used. No, 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 no. Pega can be used, but generally we use it for intranet. Now, why, Nikhila? Why intranet? Why not internet? See, let's say for example, I have started up a new bank. Okay, I just started a new bank. Now, I need two types of applications for my bank. One application which is used by the end users of the bank to sit at home, to do fund transfers, to check balance, to request for a statement, to request for a checkbook, and all that. Second application which will be used by the employees of the bank to take care of the fund transfers of the customers, to deal with the loans, to deal with the checkbooks, to deal with various things. Now, when I launch a bank, what is the first preference? Application for the customer or application to be used by the employee? You tell me which one is first preference to me.
Employee.
Employee. What do you say,
Employee.
guys? Others, anybody with a customer?
Uh, I
Employee.
think
Employee.
Employee, right?
Think it's customer.
Okay.
employee
So
and customer as well.
both are important, but when you compare both, which is of high priority to you?
Customer.
Customer is high priority. Okay. So now, if you think customer is high priority, let's say I started my bank. Okay, I onboarded 10 employees who are sitting like cashiers and clerks in my bank. Now, I have launched only the app for customers. So the customer can sit at home and do a fund transfer and do something. Now, the customer want the loan to be processed. So he will come to the bank and reach my clerk. Now, the clerk will say, sorry, sir, it's a new bank. We haven't built the application yet. Okay, so it takes time for us to build the app. So please stay tuned and reach us after some time. We will build the application. Is that a good thing? No, right? So
No.
No.
application within the bank is of high priority when compared to the application given to the end users. So if you remember, at least a decade back or 15 years back or 20 years back, none of us even used smartphones, right? But still the banks were
Yes.
running, still people were taking loans, still people were doing fund transfers and all. So we existed without having apps for the users. But we can never exist without having an application for the company within the network of the organization. So that is the reason we generally build apps using Pega as intranet. Why only intranet is because intranet applications drive a huge business. Internet applications don't do that much business. I'm talking in terms of like banking, healthcare, these industries. I'm not talking about all the industries. So if you take a banking industry, The application which I give to the customers is just to make things easy for them. I don't want my people to come to the bank, stand in a queue, wait for hours and hours to get their turn to get a loan processed or something, or to get a fund transfer and all. So just to make things easy for them, I gave an app to the user. Okay, but internal application is mandatory for me because we drive a lot of things in that internal application. The user is just going to fill a form in the app saying that, hey, I want a vehicle loan, this much amount I need, this is my current pay, and xyz he will fill. Now, what is the internal app of the bank going to do? It is going to validate his, SSN. Like, we're going to check his Aadhaar, we are going to check his PAN, we are going to check his credit score, we are going to check his nationality, we are going to check his company where he's working, his package, what are his current EMIs, is can he pay the amount, and it will go for various levels of approvals, various stages of validation, and then we dispatch the funds. Various interest rate calculation, the EMI, the number of years, automatic payments to be deducted from his bank account. So internal to the bank, we do a lot of stuff than what you do in the apps that we are providing you. So the applications which are used within the company are actually driving a major part of the business for the industry, not the applications which are hosted to you as an app to this. Similarly, if you take Amazon.in, you just place an order, you get the things done. But internal to Amazon, you know all the sellers are going to enroll. They have to make sure that the sellers are not any fraud and all. They take care of all those validations and all. They have to make sure that after placing an order, they get that from the, what do you say, that hubs where they place all the items and they deliver it on time, the time frame promised. The returns and refunds and cancellations, various things they need to handle. And whenever a customer calls and there is a ticket, they have to handle those things. So actually a lot of business is happening internal to the company in their applications, rather than you doing just adding an item to the cart and purchasing. It's just a 1 minute job, right? But back end they do a lot and lot and lot to complete your transaction. So internal applications drive a lot of business actually, when compared to the one which is hosted on the web. The same thing with IRCTC. You just open IRCTC, you book a train, and that's it, your job is done. But just think of the logic which is behind what happens in the IRCTC actual organization, what logics they do to process your ticket, to give you that lower, middle, upper berth based on the age criteria, based on other criterias, based on tatkal and all, premium tatkal and all. Lot of logics and calculations they have to do. So all that is actually driving my business, not that IRCTC app where you all are logging in and buying the tickets. So it is worth using Pega in the intranet applications than on the internet, because Pega's licensing cost is extremely high. So that is one reason actually even our clients are worried about, because its licensing cost is extremely high. So we don't use Pega in applications where the return on investment is not high. Okay, so if you're purchasing a car, okay, let's say you have purchased the most expensive sports car, and you're planning to use it to office in maybe like a traffic like Bangalore or Hyderabad, it's not worth it, right? Because the mileage is too less, and you can't drive fast on the roads in the traffic. Then what is the point? Same thing happens if you're planning to buy a most expensive tool like Pega, and you're planning to use it for applications where you're not getting that return on investment. So that is the reason we use Pega on tier 1 applications. When I say tier 1, the application is of high priority. So in real time, we categorize the applications. We say tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 kind of. So tier 3 means less priority applications. Tier 2, little priority. Tier 1, high priority, means huge user base, lot of fund transfers or business happening in that application. Very high priority. Even 1 minute of downtime we can't accept. That high priority applications, we generally prefer to use Pega. We don't use Pega for simple applications where we don't drive much business. Any questions on this one?
No, Nikhila.
No,
Others?
Nikhil.
No questions? Sure?
No, Nikhil. No, Nikhil.
No,
No,
no.
Nikila.
No,
Okay,
Nikhila.
wonderful.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Pega charges based on the user licenses or
Okay,
what?
so it purely depends on what kind of partnership your company has with the Pega systems. So there are different partnerships, just like you have partnership with your bank, right? Gold customer, platinum customer. Similarly, Pega has that partnership. Based on that, they charge. So it can be per case type. We don't know what is the case type right now. As we keep moving, you get to know. It can be per user. So they have various criteria, which I am not too much into it. Okay, because we don't buy them, right? So the company takes care of all such things. But just at a high level, this is how they charge.
Okay.
And for practice, I'm going to give you a personal edition, guys. It's a personal edition which is offered by Pega for free of cost for practicing. So that I'm going to share you. So I'm not going to give you that expensive enterprise edition. But in personal edition, you can do everything. I'm not going to say, sorry, this can't be done in personal edition. You can do everything. And please note that starting from 8.8 version of Pega, they stopped giving personal editions. So from next sessions, or I mean like next batches, or maybe after the next batch, even I can't provide the personal edition. They are only allowing you to practice on the cloud in Pega, because they have introduced this new concepts. This is chatbot, chat GPT, whatnot, everything new they have come up with. Now all that, on a personal edition you can't run. The space is not, the configuration of a personal laptop is not sufficient. So that is the reason, everybody has to practice on the cloud from the later sessions, from the later batches, not your batch. So on the cloud only we can practice. This is the only batch I think we are going to use the personal editions, and you can practice happily on your laptops. Going forward, it's all on the cloud. The problem with that is, they wipe out the data every 15 days and every 30 days, so you always have to keep the backups. That's a little concern for us. Other than that, it's fine. Now, why Pega? Answer is simple. See, everybody wants the automated stuff, right? So now, like, no, most of us are not even doing a cash transaction. You're all onto UPI. So like this, everything in the world we are preferring to get automated. Nobody wants to do the manual way. So similarly, the best part with Pega is everything is automated. Okay. So whether it is a chatbot integration, or whether it's a chat GPT integration, or whether it is a machine learning, whether it is IoT, everything is like automated in Pega. Even a layman, they can sit, they can learn, maybe like, and yet they can implement it. So it is pretty easy to implement because everything is automated. So that is the reason, everybody is rushing towards Pega. Okay. The second thing is like, clients want tools which is easy to maintain, which is easy to develop and host. Okay. So in Pega, we can build tools very fast, as I told you, like 12 to 18 times faster than traditional tools we can do. And even if you want to do any enhancements or anything, it's pretty easy for us. We don't take much time to do the things because most of the things are built in for us. Okay. And what is the benefit with this? Although Pega's licensing cost is high, we are cutting down the cost and time and effort in terms of manual. I mean, like, instead of hiring 20 employees for this project, maybe I can get it done with 5 to 10 employees. So that way it's a cost cutting for us. Okay. And we can save time and effort 100% because I'm not writing the code from the scratch. Everything is built in. So most of my time and effort gets saved. That is another reason. We don't build from the scratch. And Pega also has lot of frameworks, guys. Now, what is a framework? See, framework means it's a built-in project, existing project, sold by Pega. Let's say, for example, Pega has frameworks for cab booking application. So what is a framework? Let's say I'm a person, okay? I reached out to Pega saying that, hey, I want to buy Pega tool. They asked me, what is your business? I said, I am planning to launch a cab booking application. I'm going to fix the flaws of this Ola, Uber, S-Ride and all these things. And I'm going to, build a new application for cab booking with this features. Then what Pega tells me is, this is your effort. So if you want to build this application, this is this effort. It will take you 1 year, this much of people, and this is the effort. And then Pega tells me, why don't you buy my existing application? So I have a cab booking application which covers the generic features, the common features of this Ola, Uber, S-Red and whatnot. We have all the common features. So why don't you buy it? And then you customize it as per your company requirement and launch it. Then I'll think, oh, that's a wonderful idea, man. You already have, 60% of my application ready or 80% of my application ready. Give me that. I'm going to buy your application. And then I'm going to customize it and use it. So frameworks are nothing but like this generic applications as per industry. Pega will be selling. So we have healthcare frameworks, you have banking frameworks, lot of frameworks are there. Okay, so frameworks are just built-in applications. Now, there is a chance that interviewer may ask you, did you work on any healthcare or banking frameworks when you're attending the interviews? It is 100% okay to say, no, I did not work on any framework, and we have built the frameworks within the company. So you can see most of the companies, instead of purchasing a framework for Pega, they build their own frameworks. Suppose I am a banking company, like I'm HDFC Bank. I have 10 Pega projects under me. So what I will do is I myself will build a generic application and call it as a framework and reuse it in all my other applications. Okay. So frameworks, today's world, we are all building on our own. Not much of us are buying from the customer. So if you get a chance to work on a framework, that's superb, wonderful, adds value to your resume. But it is 100% okay to say that no, we have built our own frameworks and we are using it. So it is okay that, okay, that's not going to be a big deal. You can even check my call recordings of interview calls, which I'm going to share you. Okay, this is how we answered, and it went well. There's no issue at all. Now, so what exactly is Pega? How do you work in Pega? In Pega, it's a BPM tool, right? So in all BPM tools, we are all completely driven by the workflows. Driven by workflows means, whatever project I want to build, first I have to draw the flow diagram. Flow diagrams, right? You might have done it in your education, in your lower classes and all. Flow diagrams. So first we have to draw the flow diagram in Pega. Now on the flow diagram, we will put all the screens and all, and we will do the configuration. So flow is very important for us in Pega. Okay. So what you put on the flow is what the end user will experience. So in the flow, I gave 10 shapes and I kept 10 screens. That is what end user will see. Suddenly I removed the eighth shape, end user will not see the eighth screen. Suddenly I added a new screen, end user will see this new screen. So what you do in the flow is just a mirror image of what the end user will experience. Flows are very important in the BPM tools. All BPM tools, we are flow driven. Okay. Now, see, Pega is in various industries, guys. Pega is a BPM tool, but we have Pega CRM, case management. As I told you, predictive analysis means like this data scientists and all will be doing this. Pega, we have cloud, we have IoT, we have robotics, we have chatbot and ChatGPT integrations. We used to even integrate with Hadoop and all. So, we integrate with almost everything and which is trending in the IT industry, and we work here. And yeah, any questions on Pega before we jump to BPM?
No,
No,
Nikhil.
Nikhil.
Okay.
Only
Yes, please.
so you said like we can do everything like by just drag and drop, right?
It's all
So
about the
in
UI.
this,
UI. If it is about the
yeah,
functionality, you have to learn the methods and all these things.
yeah. My question is that like if we develop a code, we have the option to modify the whatever we need. We can do, right? I
Mhm.
think we can do that in Pega as well. That is in comes in
100%
functional.
yes, right? Because every
That's
application we have enhancements. No application is going to stop after the first release, right? So every application has enhancements. So 100% we edit them, we update them, we
okay.
redeploy them. So it's possible.
Thank you.
Actually, in the demo, I have shown people how I was able to build an application like Paytm, using Pega. So you can just, I'll just fast forward it. Maybe you can, you can just check. I'll just put it 2x so that because it's already played in the demo, but I just want you people to see. Yes, somebody has a question. See the Paytm, I'm just showing you how did I build it in Pega with all drag and drops and all. Only the UI part I'm showing. Okay, you can just check this. This is a part of the actual demo which was conducted. You can actually watch it at a slow pace there. Just to get it white background, I was adding something. For that menu configuration, so similarly I have done for the other hyperlinks as well. I'm just moving it. So just a preview of what we have done. So it hardly took me like less than 5 minutes to build the UI. Okay, now the menu configurations I'll be doing in the next thing. Options in the menu. Whatever options you need in the menu, I'm just configuring here. In the previews, you can't see menu, so it was not coming. Only when we actually run the application, you can see that. So I'll be showing you that in the next things, it will be coming. And this is something which is built on Pega, and this is the actual one. So you can see the menu options coming. So next part, I was going to work on the sign in button. So you can see so this is only about the UI configuration. Now coming to the functionality, we have to learn functions and methods. So that is the reason, initial 1 month of the training will be very easy. Everybody is very attentive in the class, doing homeworks, everything. They are very attentive. After 1 month, we are going to start the complex areas of Pega, like activities, data transforms, and all this. And then, the people get filtered. Only people who are, able to sustain, learning those activities, data transforms, and able to complete the task, they are the ones who are going to, be very much comfortable around Pega after the 3 months of training program. By the time activities start, if you see any difficulty, you're not able to practice or you're going off track, trust me, it's very difficult for you to get placed immediately after the training. You may need to invest 2 months or more. So make sure you carry this zeal and desire to learn Pega throughout the 3 months of training program, not only in the initial 1 month. Initial 1 month, it's all UI, drag and drop, very, very easy, very comfortable, very nice, crazy experience. But what comes after that is extremely important in the training and from the interview point of view as well. So staying strong after the first month of training is more important than in the first month of the training. Okay. So this is how we build it. It was shown in the demo, but because some of you are not there and you're asking questions, I just thought we can quickly have a look at it. Okay. Any questions, guys?
We are good, Nikita.
No, Nikhil.
Super.
Yeah, Nikhil, I have one.
Sure, please.
Is it more of like front end development
No. As
along
I
with
told,
functionality?
it's like end to end we build in Pega. So you do SOAP, you do
Okay.
REST, you do file listeners, email listeners, Kafka's, background processing,
Okay.
everything you
Okay.
do, reporting, deployments, version controlling, everything you do. I was just only showing people the UI part. Then I told them, we have
Okay.
methods and functionalities which you have to learn, to actually build the background part.
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Now,
have a quick question.
yes, please.
Yeah, do we need to have some database knowledge also for
Okay, so
this?
I was coming to that. Actually, no, not required. Okay, the basic knowledge on database is enough. Okay, so towards the end of the training, I'm going to show you, what comes and you install Pega, this Tomcat server, database, and all. So then I will just tell you, what level of knowledge in database it is required to work on Pega. Okay, I will cover that in the
Okay.
next few minutes.
Nicola,
Yes, please.
what is SOAP and REST?
Okay, see, SOAP and REST are integrations. Integration is not nothing about two applications talking to each other. Like from Paytm, you can transfer money to Google Pay. Or let's say from Paytm, you can do an electricity recharge, right? So electricity recharge is a different application. Paytm is different. They are talking to each other and exchanging information. Or from Google Pay, you're sending money to HDFC Bank or Citibank of the other person. Google Pay is different, HDFC is different. So they are talking to each other and exchanging information. So that is integration. For integration, we use something like SOAP, REST, and all, which you will be learning as a part of the training.
Okay.
Nikila, what is the latest Pega version currently using?
24, Pega 24. So after 8.7 we have 8.8 and then 23, 24. 23, 24 came in a very short span. All of us, you check with any of your Pega friends in the IT industry, everybody of us are still in 8.x version only. X means 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.5, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7 and 8.8. In any of these 8 versions only we are still in the industry, because recently only we upgraded to 8 man. Now again they come up with Pega 23, 24 and all this. Upgrade takes a lot of effort for us, right? It's like moving the entire project to a new version. So when we upgrade, we'll get lot of issues, lot of compatibility stuff, lot of rules got changed, lot of rules get deprecated. So we don't upgrade every now and then, but Pega comes up with new versions very frequently. So everybody in the industry are still on 8. We are planning to upgrade in the initial quarters of 2025. We have plans to upgrade. So I know people who are getting to place in 2025, they have to start learning 24. But as of now, 8 is good and 8 is must. Why 8 is must for you? Because now you start attending interviews and you say which version of Pega you're using. You say Pega 24. They will say how come? Because most of us in the industry are still on 8.x, and most of you are going to put some experience of like 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So if you put 3 5 years, how can you say you're working on 24? Because 24 is very recent. I think 2 months or 3 months back it came. So you should and must know 8.x. Okay, this is mandatory for you to learn. Okay, and even your certifications are on 8.x only. They are not yet on 24 as far as I know.
Nicola,
Yes, please.
actually, we are learning 8.8. For
Right.
example, if we get placed in any of the company, and uh, if we have to work on the 8.2 or 8.3, something like that, so
Oh
there
yeah.
will be a
It's like very minor differences. See, when Pega 6 to 7, there'll be drastic. 7 to 8, there'll be drastic. But this patch versions, very minor differences they have. You can't even identify what has changed. The patches they come up because of minor enhancements and minor defect fixes in the code. So patches is perfectly okay. Just 7 to 8, 6 to 7, there'll be drastic changes. Not in the
oh,
patches. So if it's a drastic change, of course they will come with a new number, right? Pega 9, Pega 10, Pega 11, Pega 24, something like this. If it is a minor change, only they come up with this patch versions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dot 1, dot 2, dot 3.
okay.
Okay. So it is already 1 hour. Why don't we take a break? Okay, then we'll come back and we'll resume with the what is BPM and all, and then I'm going to talk about this database and all that configurations and all. So it is 8:05 in my machine right now. Let's take 10 minutes break. Okay, we'll connect back again at 8:15. I am not going to pause my screen. I'm just going to go on mute, and 8:15 we will resume. Okay? Okay, guys.
Sure, Nikhila.
Sure, sure.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So we are done with the break. Let's resume. Guys, in case if you are not able to see my screen, that could be because you joined late in the session. If you join late in the session, you'll face such issues. In that case, please let me know. First you try to log out and re-log in and see if you're able to see or not. If you're still not able to do it even after a couple of logouts and re-logins, let me know. I can stop my screen share and reshare it. Okay. And the other thing is, like, if any of you are facing microphone issues and your voice is not audible to me, okay, for time being, try to log in from the mobile app as well in the GoToMeeting. Okay, that way you can see the screen from the laptop, and if you want to speak anything, just speak from the mobile. But that is only an optional thing. Try to fix your audio issues before the next session. That would be good. Okay, now let's resume.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Nikhila.
Yeah.
So, like, I have that question. Like, does Pega still suggest to use the framework?
Which one? Of course, it's their product. They will suggest to use. Why not?
Okay, no, no. Recently, I got this in like question. That's why I
See, it
thought
is not.
to share.
It's a suggestion because you save time. You save time and effort, right? Everything is built in. It's perfectly working, coded, tested, done everything. So of course it is good to use. But just considering the cost and all, people are preferring to build it from the scratch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Moving on. So we just spoke about Pega, and now we are going to just understand about BPM at a high level. Just because Pega falls under BPM, just learn BPM at a very high level. You're not going to use this anywhere, in a interviews or anywhere. It's not. It's just good to know. Okay, now what is BPM? So the full form of BPM is business process management. So business. Okay, so I have a business, maybe like a banking or healthcare. So I have some business. It'll have lot of processes. What are processes? Every workflow means, like, for example, loan application processing is one process. New account opening is one process. Issuing a checkbook is a different process. So like this, every business will have lot of processes. Now you want to manage them in a better way. So if somebody has come and is asking for a loan, what will you do? You will also create an account for him in your bank, right? And only then you will issue the loan. So new account and loan processing, there's a tie up. So like this, multiple processes will have tie-ups between them. So you want to, organize them, and you want to handle them in the best possible way. You want to exchange the data between these two and do it. So in order to handle the business in an efficient way, we actually use BPM tools, business process management tools. As I told you, we have a lot of BPM tools in the market, like these all listed in the here. Appian, IBM BPM, Lombardi, TIPCO, Cordis, lot of BPM tools are there. Now, what is that? That is the common thing in all BPM tools. The common thing in all BPM tools, first thing is they're all flow driven. Everybody is like flow driven. Just like a kid, if you want to first build an application, you have to sit and first draw the flows, and then on the flows you put your code, you put your functionality, you put your screens and everything. You have to put it. So the first thing that we do is building the flows only. They're all flow driven. Second thing is, like, according to BPM's best practices, within the tool itself, you should be able to, capture the requirements. Generally, for capturing the requirements, we use external tools in real time. Okay, like Jira, Rally, ALM, generally Jira and Rally we use to capture the requirements. But in Pega, we can capture the requirements within the Pega tool itself. Similarly, they should meet the BPM standard. So BPM standard means the application should be able to connect with any other application. The application should not be, dependent on any particular technology or anything like that. No, I shouldn't say, sorry, I can't connect to Java, sorry, I can't connect .NET, or sorry, I can work only on this. That should not be the case. It should be scalable and flexible to connect with anything. So yes, Pega does that, and they should be, should have optimal performance, scalable, flexible, and all. So Pega has all these things. So we call it as a BPM tool. So just as I told you, whenever a product is launched in the market, okay, maybe it's a cosmetic or maybe it is a food. Generally, we have these approvals, right? FDA, ISI, AGMARK. Every product they come under some or the other category. Similarly, in the IT industry, every tool comes under some or the other category, and Pega comes under BPM category. That's it. So according to BPM, everything should be able to do within the tool itself. Capturing requirements within the tool, integration within the tool, reporting within the tool, deployment within the tool. Like that, everything we do within the tool. And those of you who don't know what is deployment, what is integration, please don't worry. You're going to learn all these things in the training. Okay, so everything we are able to do within the tool itself. So those are called as BPM's capabilities, and that is the reason Pega comes under the BPM category. It's a BPM tool. Okay, nothing much to do about this. And just a quick history about this Pega. Pega came up in 1983, guys. So the initial version of Pega is 5.5. So I was there from 5.5 itself. So I worked on 5.x. I worked on 6. In 6 we had many versions: 6.1, 6.2, SP1, SP2, SP3, lot of them are there. Then 7 we had till 7.7 or 7.8. Then 8 we have 8.8. Now, sorry, I have to update this. Now 24 is the latest version in the market. Okay, and Ellen Teffler is the CEO of Pega Systems. He's a world champion, world chess champion. Okay. Now the competitors of Pega, Appian, ServiceNow, and IBM BPM, but they're way behind. Okay, we are way ahead of them. Just to say they are competitors. That's it. And we use Appian in certain areas only when the applications are not that critical applications. Small applications, where you need this process management or workflow management, we use Appian. But for big applications, which is being used in a lot of countries, in lot of these things, we prefer to go with Pega only, because Appian is not that flexible and scalable. Okay, the only disadvantage of Pega is the licensing cost, very expensive. That is the only feedback I always hear from my management. Okay, if for this application, why do you want to invest a Pega? Because licensing cost is very high. That's the only concern we have. Other than that, it's the best BPM tool. Companies using Pega, this list is very small. Okay, in the demo recording, I have shown you all the partners of Pega. You can see it over there. It's a very big list. Okay, so these are one of some of the companies I have listed out here, and I was a corporate trainer for most of them. So actually, if you really master in Pega, you may get a chance to work in some of these big fang organizations. Okay. Now people keep asking me how is the market on Pega and also. I just tell them one thing. If this many companies are using Pega, why will you not have any opportunities? Do you think people are going to stick to one company? Of course, everybody is going to resign and move to another one, right? So obviously there'll be a place for you. Second thing is, like, obviously you will have new projects coming up every year. So there is an opportunity. Okay. But the competition when compared to earlier versus now is little high because many people are migrating to Pega, but still we have decent number of opportunities in the industry. Certifications, as I told you, CSA is a certification that you have to do first, and then CWSA. It is not required to maintain any gap. Just 1 day gap or 1 week gap is also fine. So right away give your certifications, guys, because by the time you attend the interviews it should be certain older. Okay, if you say I have 10 years of experience or 3 years of experience on Pega and you said yesterday only I wrote the certification, it doesn't make any sense. So you have to give your certifications right away as early as possible and reach out to me if you need assistance in completing that. So this is just
So, Nikhila, without certification, Nikhila,
people will
sorry.
not hire you without certification because in order to purchase the Pega software, okay, Pega wants the companies to show certified resources on their payroll. So if Capgemini wants to buy Pega from Pega Systems, they have to show I have this many certified resources in my company on my payroll. So please give me license. So it is mandatory for them to have certified resources in the company.
Thank you, Nikhila.
So any other question?
Hello, Nikhila.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Nikhila?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. One more question I have. After our training, can we complete both the certifications by our own, or do we
See,
still need assistance?
After the training, you should be in a position to complete it. But the reason we ask you to look for assistance is when we started writing certifications, the certification cost was like hardly 8K or 9K. Okay, so it was okay for me to give a trial and error. If I failed, I can write another attempt. That was okay. But right now, the certification cost is close to 18,000. So if you want to take a chance, it is little expensive. So what I suggest you is take support and write, but make sure that every question you are able to evaluate the right answer. Okay, so if you're able to evaluate,
Okay.
then you're good to go.
Okay, Nikhila. Thank you.
And you also find dumps in the market, guys. I don't have it, but you can Google it. Pega dumps. Many people will sell it. They hardly cost like 2,000 to 3,000. Maybe as a group you can form and you can buy one dump. But one thing to be taken care: the dump, the questions are correct, but the answers are not correct most of the time. Okay, so just check if you're able to identify the right answer or not, just to evaluate yourself. Okay. Any other questions before we resume with the next one?
Hi, Nikhila.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes, Deep.
I have a question. Without any experience, how can we write a certification?
So this is something which we need to discuss off the record. Please reach me in person.
Okay,
I'll tell you, what kind of assistance you get and all.
okay, fine, fine. Thank you.
Yes, Syed, you have some question?
Yeah, regarding certifications,
Mhm.
what if we did not clear in our first
You
attempt?
can write 3 times per year, and after first failure, you
Okay,
have to maintain some mandatory gap. Pega suggests you to maintain some gap and all that. You have to follow that.
okay, got it.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next thing that we have in the agenda for today. So we are going to talk about the Pega Studios. Okay, so before I talk about the Pega Studios, I just want to talk about the various roles we have in Pega, because based on the role we use the studios. Okay, so so roles in any project, not only Pega project. Okay, any project you go in the IT industry, we have these roles. The roles are developers. Developer means a person who does coding. Okay, so we all are developers because we are going to build the apps by doing the coding. Again, coding here doesn't mean writing actual code. Okay, just doing the configurations and all. Also, I mean coding, because don't come back and ask me, Nicola, you said Pega is a no coding tool, and again you're saying coding. So whenever I say coding, it's all about the configurations, functions, methods, and all what we do in Pega. So developers we have, then we have managers, right, who manages the entire team. Okay, they take care of the new projects, new things, new enhancements, everything they are going to take care. Project enhancements and all, they are going to take care. Then we have testers or QA, who actually tests your code. Okay, so after the project is built by the developer, we will give it to the tester. Tester will test your application. So developers, we only test in the happy way. If there is a login screen, I will give the correct username, I'll give the correct password, and I'll say, yeah, it is logging in. Wonderful. Then I'll give the correct username, wrong password, and I'll say login. Oh, it is throwing error. Wonderful. My code is working. That is how I will test, because I'm a developer. But testers, they will try to do up and down all kind of testing. They will do performance testing, this testing, that testing. How can a hacker hack the machine? All kind of things they will do. They will see that your code is not breaking in any possible way. So testers are the actual people who check the quality of your application. They test the code. So then you have somebody called as business analyst. Now, who is a business analyst? See, you and your client are not going to sit and talk directly, right? Suppose, let's say, for example, I am on, some let's say I'm on Capgemini's payroll. I'm working for Capgemini. Now, Capgemini is a service-based company, means they only provide services. Now, we take projects from clients. So, client can be like United Health Group, Bank of America, Standard Chartered Bank, World Bank. All these are clients. They are all clients. So, we take projects from them and we do it. Suppose now I'm not going to sit with the Bank of America team and ask, okay, what kind of website you need? Please tell me. Where do you want this option? Where do you want this image? I'm not going to sit with the clients directly and chit chat and take all the requirements, right? So who is going to do that? Business analyst. So business analyst is a person who actually talks to the client, gets the requirement, breaks them down into small requirements, gets the entire clarity on every single requirement. They even give you images, very much detail, where what has to come, how it has to come, how much length, how much breadth, what size, everything they give you in the very much detail what they want to develop, what error messages has to come, what user friendly messages have to come, the look and feel, very detailed. They correct the requirements from the client, and they're going to create stories for you. Story is nothing but a requirement. So business analyst is the person who collects data from client and creates stories for the developer. Stories means requirements, okay, developer to work on. Okay, so for now we'll talk only about these roles. Okay, we have various other roles as well, scrum master, this, that, and all. We'll not talk about all these things right now, because the next topic is Pega Studios. For this I need only these roles, so I'm talking about only these roles. Okay, so developer, the person who does coding, manager who manages the entire team, takes care of the project enhancements, the funding, this, that, and all that. Testers test your code. Business analyst, the actual person who talks to the customers and gets you the biggest chunk of work and then breaks them into small works and assign it to you as a stories so that you can work on it. And if you have any doubts while working, you ask the BA and the BA will ask the client and get back to you with the response. So clear, business analyst is the mediator between you and the client. Okay, now let's talk about the Pega Studios. Where is this? So in Pega, okay, we basically have 4 studios in Pega. Once upon a time, this was a very important interview question for us. Not right now, but once upon a time, it was a important interview question for us. Now, what are the 4 studios we have in Pega and what exactly is a studio? Studio means a portal that you see when you log in into the application. What is this? Portal. When you go to YouTube, what do you get? Portal. When you go to Gmail, what do you get? Portal. When you go to Paytm, what do you get? Portal. So portal means the page that I see when I log in into the application. That is just a portal. That's it. Now, what is studio? Portal and studio are one and the same. Okay, just a fancy word. Portal means studio. Now, Pega has 4 default studios. So can I build multiple portals? 100% yes, man. You can build your own portals as per your client requirement, right? But Pega gave you 4 default studios for you to work on them. Okay. Now, what are these studios? First one is Dev Studio. Second one is App Studio. Third is Admin. Four is Prediction. Let's go and see what are those. I'm logging into Pega. Oh, oh, I gave a wrong password. 1 second. So administrator at pega.com and install is the password. These are default credentials to log in into any Pega version. Take any Pega version, these are the default credentials to log in for the very first time. Later on, you will create your own credentials and you can log in. Now, when you log in, do you see the top left, this studio? So this is called as Dev Studio. So portal is what we call it as studios, nothing new. Okay, so let's say, for example, I go to Amazon. What is this? Studio, portal. I go to HDFC. Once you log in, okay, once you log in, I call it as a studio portal. Paytm Studio portal. So studios and portals are one and the same. Okay. Just Pega is giving you some default portals. Dev, app, admin, prediction. Can I create my own portals? 100% yes. Because depending upon your project requirement, you have to create your own portals. This is only for you given by Pega. But what about you for your customer? My customer wants a project like Paytm. I have to build an own portal, right? My customer wants a project like Amazon. I want to build an own portal, right? So 100% yes, you can build it. Now, what are the default studios you have in Pega? Very important question once upon a time. So Dev Studio. What is Dev Studio? Dev Studio means the place where developers are going to work. Only developers will use Dev Studio. None of these people will use Dev Studio. Managers, testers, business analysts, no. Nobody is going to come here. So when a developer enters his username and password, he will get this screen. When a manager enters username and password, he will get a different screen. When a BA enters username and password, they will get some other screen. Okay, so only developers will get Dev Studio in real time. Managers, BAs, testers, users, nobody is going to get Dev Studio. So, what is Dev Studio? Dev Studio is a place where developers are going to work. So, what will you do here? You will build the code, man. You will build the workflows, you will build the reporting, validation, whatnot. So, we will build the code. This is where we build the project. This is the place for developers to purely do the coding and build the application. So, Dev Studio is for developers. Every single option that you see here is only for developers. The second one is App Studio. What is App Studio? App Studio is purely for the non technical people in the project. Now, who are the non technical people here? Business analyst and managers. Is QA not a non technical? Yes, QA are not non technical. They also write scripts. They also write test cases, test suits. They are also kind of technical. They also write code. They also write logics. So these guys are not non technical, okay? They are also technical people. Non technical people are only the managers and the BAs. These guys don't know any kind of coding. Their job is different, okay? So this app studio was purely designed for BAs and managers. Now, what are they going to do here? So, if a BA prefers to create an end to end workflow of your project, or if a BA prefers to create new users in your application, or if a BA wants to configure new channels like chatbot or maybe various channels we have. So, if they want to configure any of these channels, okay, they can configure it. So, this is purely for building the workflows, end to end workflows, or creating new tables, or creating new channels and creating new users. That's it. So few basic functionalities are given here for the BAs and managers to do. But trust me, till day I never saw a BA or a manager using this. When they have dev team, why they will come and do all these things, right? They'll come and tell dev team, hey guys, we know it, this, that's it, and dev team is going to work on it. So although Pega has given App Studio, nobody is working it on it. Okay, in real time, nobody is using App Studio. Okay, so App Studio is for non technical people like BAs and managers. Dev Studio is for developers. Now, what is the next studio we have? Let's move. Admin Studio. Oh, I didn't speak about the admins here. So, we have somebody called as admins, administrator or admins. So, who are admins? Admins are the people who take care of the background configurations. Like, let's say, for example, they are the people who do the Pega installation, okay, who take care of the servers, who take care of the load balancing, okay, who take care of the background jobs that are running, okay, who take care of the, OS upgrades, etc., etc. So administrators are the people who actually take care of all these kind of things. So now it is your laptop. You are installing Pega. In real time, you're not going to install Pega. Okay. So Pega will be installed on a server machine or on the cloud by administrators. Okay. You are not going to do that. Similarly, they will set up this servers and all, Tomcat, all this kind of servers and all. They will take care of load balancing. Load balancing means if thousands and thousands of users are logging into the application will come down, right? So the application will not load, not open. So they will set up multiple servers and they will take care of the load balancing so that application doesn't come down. Background jobs, OS upgrades. So every now and then they also have to install antivirus. They also have to take care of operating like Windows upgrade, Linux upgrade, Unix upgrade. So all these kind of things administrators will do. Now this particular portal is for such administrators. Now what do they do here? They take care of all these background things, queues, jobs running in the background, listeners running in the background, requester pools, all these kind of background stuff. They'll be looking into it, nodes and all. They take care of all the background things. Of course developers will also use it, but to some extent. Maybe developers use it like 30% to 40%. Admins use the maximum out of it. Okay, so admin studio is purely for the administrators to look into the background things. Okay, so the last studio.
Nicola, one question.
Mhm. Let me
So, I
come.
mean, are we going to cover this admin work also? I mean, this admin part also in our training?
This is developer training, right? Why will you do admin things here? You will not do.
Oh,
Admin role is completely
okay.
different in real time. Even in real time, you are not going to do any of these things because you are a developer.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So the last studio is prediction studio, which is being used by the data scientists. So if you go back here, the last studio we have is prediction studio. We don't even touch this because this is purely for the data scientists. Right? They do machine learning, they ingest some data, they teach the machine, they make it learn. So those people use it. It is not at all for us, only for data scientists. Forget about it. Now, if somebody asks in the interview, what are the various studios you have in Pega? Can you please explain? So you have to tell them that we have 4 studios in Pega: Admin Studio, Dev Studio, App Studio, and Prediction Studio. Dev Studio is purely for the developers to create and work on the rules. App Studio is for the non technical people like business analysts and managers to do some basic stuff like creating operators, workflows, tables, and all. Admin Studio is purely for the administrators to deal with the background jobs, servers, and all. Prediction Studio is for the data scientists. Okay, this should be your answer. Now, anybody has any question, feel free to ask me now.
No, Nicola, we are good.
Nicola, will you be teaching about like jobs and queue processors?
Of course, yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Be active in the session, guys. Keep answering. Don't sit idle like that. And one more thing. So, whatever I'm going to teach you today, in the next session, I'm going to ask you questions. So, next session, there'll be a question on studios in Pega. So, make sure you brush up on these things before you come to the next session. Okay. Now, let's do a small walkthrough of the Dev Studio. I'm just only doing a walkthrough. Okay. As you keep working on the projects, you will be very familiar with these things. But today, it's like Greek and Latin for you. So, I'm just doing a small walkthrough. So this is called as Dev Studio, where you people are going to work for the next 3 months and you'll become a master in using this. But today I'm just going to introduce you what is this. Let me complete, please. Please pause your questions. Let me complete this, then you can ask.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please pause your
Hi,
question.
Nicola. Uh, hello.
Yes, Raj, please.
Hi, Nicola. This is yeah. This is Raj. Okay. I
Mhm,
have I have a question,
mhm,
and this you are already informed me that 4 types of in studios. One is Dev Studio, App Studio, Prediction, or Admin Studios.
mhm.
Okay. That is I think is our I think Dev Studio is also one of the who is build and in the app store that is development of the platform allows to enterprises to quickly what is I'm not sure for that that is what is the exactly meaning of Dev Studio and only
So
for
the place
DevOps
where
I think sorry
no no
who is a person is a developer and write the code. It's already code is in the background running or not.
you have to build the code here. So I have shown you the building of code of Paytm, right? So I was doing everything here. One second. There's an echo on your side. Let me just mute once. There's a lot of echo coming, Raj. So I'm just muting you. So what I'm telling you is this is the place where all the developers are going to do their coding. So whether it is building a screen or whether it is deployment or whether it is building a report or whether it is, doing some logics and all, this is the only place you are going to do. So you come log in here and do all the things. Okay. End to end website building happens only in this portal. Did you understand, Raj?
Yes, yes.
As you keep working, you will actually get much familiar with it. Now, let me give you a small walkthrough, guys. So this is Dev Studio. Okay. If you see on the left hand side, we have few icons, right? We call them as explorers. Recent Explorer, Case Type Explorer, Data Type Explorer, App Explorer, Records Explorer, Favorites. So if somebody says go to App Explorer, don't search. App Explorer, this one. Records Explorer, this one. Okay, these are called as explorers. Although it is not written, when somebody says Records Explorer, this is the one. Okay, remember these are the ones. Now, what is Recent Explorer? Just like history in the browser. What do you see in the browser history? What did we open in the recent past? Same thing. What did I open in the recent past? I can check here. So let's say last evening I was working on something. I'm done with my work. I logged off. Today morning I logged in. Array, I forgot which rule I worked yesterday. What is the name of the rule? I'm not recollecting it. Then come to recents and open it. That's it. Okay. So it is like a browser history. Now, case type explorer. I told you, right? We work on flows in Pega. So end to end, that flows configuration we do here. Data type explorer. Every project will need some tables to store the data, right? Take Amazon. They will store all their product information, pricing, customer information, your order history, everything they'll store in some table, right? That is data type here. That is just for tables. We store the data. Take Paytm, your recharge information, various networks, what are the recharge plans, they will store in some table and they will display, right? So that storing of data in tables happens under Data Type Explorer. App Explorer, the place where we actually build the screens and functionality. Records Explorer, almost same like App Explorer, just that here under each class you will see the rules. Here by rule type you will see the rules. Class, rule type, don't get confused. I'll teach you as we keep moving into the training. Favorites, just like favorites in your browser. If you want to mark any rule as a favorite rule, you can mark it. Just bookmarking. Okay. Now, my profile, operator profile, you can check here and the log off button. Then at the bottom, you have some tools, okay, where you can capture your requirements and all. These tools are there. This side bottom, all debugging tools and performance tools are there. And if somebody asks you which version of Pega you're working, always click on this Pega icon to see the version details. Okay. And if they want to know what is your server and all, click on system information. You will get that server details and all.
Uh, Nikhila, is there any way that by seeing the application, can we confirm that it's a Pega
No, you
application? It is developed in Pega.
no, it's not
Like when,
possible. By seeing the application, you can't say.
and what do we call this ribbon in the bottom?
This is just a, you can just say footer, the footer, that's it. In the footer of the Dev Studio, you have all these things. So headers, footers, left panel, right panel, that's it. So you can collapse your panel like this. If when we get on a screen share, if I say please collapse, this is how you have to collapse your panel. There are two double lines here. Just collapse. Now come to the top panel. If somebody asks you what is your project name, this is your project name. Okay, your project name always comes here. So whichever project you're working, this is the project name. application name. Okay. Now, this is also a menu. You have a lot of options, which we'll be teaching you later. Then you have a lot of wizards or tools to complete your project building. We have a lot of things here, which we'll be learning later. Whatever portals you are building, customized portals you are building, you can see them from here. You can add your customized portals here. This is an option to create new rules in Pega, new code in Pega. This is an option to search the rules. Okay, if you want to search any rule, you can search by typing the name here. Okay, and then you can find some help here. If you want to learn about any topic, you can always go to the Pega help and you can learn about that topic. Okay, this is just a help. Then if you come to the bottom of the screen, you can see something called as guardrail warnings. This is important interview question. So what are guardrail warnings? What are guardrails? First of all, guardrails means best practices. So what do you mean by best practices? Suppose you bought a new electric car or electric bike. What are the best practices generally? Just let's say for example, do not charge it overnight. Or let's say you bought a new mobile, do not charge it overnight. The battery will lose its life. Or do not dip it in water. This will not. So like this, you have some best practices to make sure the product is working in a longer run. Similarly, whenever you build a project in Pega, Pega has its own best practices. So Pega suggests you not to have more than 18 shapes in a flow, not to use this, not to do custom Java coding, not to do custom HTML coding. So like that, lot of best practices are there in Pega. Okay, so if you go against their best practices, then these warnings will come. Right of now, it is all 000. When you build project, the number will increase. Okay, now severe warnings means, oh my god, it's going to affect the performance of the application. Moderate, slightly okay. Informational, just for your info, please try to do this kind of warnings. So these warnings, if you click on the number, what is the error will display and you have to fix it. Okay, so in certain companies, your managers are even going to check how many warnings are introduced by this developer, and that is going to impact you. And in certain companies, when we complete the coding and you're planning to give it to the tester for testing, your team lead is going to check, are any warnings introduced by you? If it is introduced by you, first you have to resolve them, bring that count to 0. Only then you can give it to the tester for testing. So in certain companies they follow it very strict, in certain they don't. But it is important to look into these issues because based on these guardrail warnings, we have some application score actually. Generally, application score we get, checklist score. So if the score is not above 90, they will not allow you to put your application in production. Okay, what is dev qa uat production? We will talk about it in the next few minutes. Okay, so they will not allow you to host your application if the score is not above 90. So we have to make sure you are taking care of these guardrail warnings. You can't just do the coding here and there as you wish and introduce warnings, because the application performance will come down or it will not work as expected if you do not follow the product guidelines. Say anytime you bought a new TV, you bought a new washing machine, you have to follow the guidelines, right? If you press whatever you wish, of course it will damage. Same thing here. They have their own guardrails. You have to follow it. If you play with it, the application is not going to work or the performance will come down. So guardrail warnings, it's an interview question, guys. So if they ask you what are guardrail warnings, please tell them Pega has some best practices. And if you do not follow the best practices, these warnings will come. They are of three types: severe, moderate, and informational. Severe is like huge impact on the application performance. Moderate is a slight impact. Information is just for your info. Okay. And you have to address these warnings. How do you address these warnings? Open the count, the rule name and the warning details will come. Open the rule and fix it according to the warning. Okay, so as you keep doing the hands on, we will learn how to fix those warnings. As of now, it is still day one, you can't get all those things. Okay, so this is the
Nikla,
small.
can you show how you access this guardrail page?
Just scroll
Just
down,
like
that's it.
okay, okay, okay. One more thing, like you said, na, there is an option where we can create our own rules. So if we want to create a rule, so we need to go for coding, or there also we just need to do drag and drop.
See, if it is the front end, you do drag and drop. If it is functionality, you have to use some existing functions and methods. Let's say there are various rule types, okay? I'm showing you activity rule. So if you open this, so we have lot of functions and methods here, which you need to learn. See, these are all methods for us. So you need to learn what is property set method, what is the input I'm passing, what is the output I'm getting. So like this, you need to learn all these methods. What is page change class? What is the input I'm passing? What is the output I'm getting? So it's all configuration only. But you have to learn the frequently used methods. So frequently used like 15 to 20 methods, not more than that. Okay. So if you master on those 15 to 20 methods, more than sufficient to work in real time.
Nikhila, I have a doubt on guardrails.
Mhm.
So if already any other person has already worked on any activity rule and the manager told me to work on that rule, and if it has already any error on it, will it reflect on my name after working it, or will it show the previous person who has
So
worked
do
on
you
it?
see this? It says introduced by you. So which is introduced by you will come under your name. Okay.
So
And the other thing is like, first of all, if it is existing like that, and let's say the person left the company, or the person left the project, but still it is under you right now, right? So when you took the control of the rule, you have to fix it, or you can even write justifications. Let's say, this guardrail wording, I can't go ahead and fix it because my business requirement demands that kind of configuration. So you can write down a justification. As per the business requirement, I have to code like this, so I'm doing it. You can give a justification. Even then this warning count will reduce.
okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. So this is about the dev studio, guys. We are going to work on it for the next 3 months, so you're going to master on it. And of course on the admin studio also you will be touching a lot, so you're going to learn them. Now, as few things I would like to tell you about the architecture and all. uh, Not operators. 1 second, where is that? Sorry. Mm, just a second, guys. um okay. See, just the architecture of Pega. Okay, so whenever we are installing Pega, we can install Pega only on Windows, Linux, and Unix. And in most of the companies, we are using Linux. Okay, although you guys are using Windows while practicing. Okay, but in most of the companies, we are using Linux because it is more secure than Windows. So every organization uses Linux. You have nothing to do with it. Okay, Pega admin team is going to do all these things. Just for your info, I'm teaching you. Okay, next, database. Now, what is database? For non-technical people, guys, not for technical people. So what is database? So whenever you build an application, you have to store the data. Now let's say, for example, I take Paytm. I think it'll ask me to log in. 1 second, let's try Paytm recharge. Okay. Now you look at this. Okay, I came to the Paytm recharge page. So based on the network selected, these plans are coming. Do you see this? All this is coming. So where is all this coming from? They are storing it in the database and they're displaying to me here. So database is nothing but basically used for storage. For storing the content, we use database. Okay. Pega can only build the screens and do the functionality. Pega can't store the data. Not only Pega, Java can't store the data. .NET can't store the data. Python can't store the data. None of these technologies store data. They are only used for writing the logics, processing the code, and building the front end and all. But for data storage, you always need a database. Whichever tool or technology you're using, you always need a database. So even this drop down, where is this all data coming from? Airtel, BSNL, Geo, MTL, where is all the data coming from? Database. If I click on order history, my recharge history will come. How is all that coming? They store it in the database. So database is basically used for storing data in the projects. Okay, as I told you, whichever tool or technology you're learning, database is mandatory to store the data. Now, what kind of databases generally we use in combination with Pega in real time? Most of the time we use SQL Server, Oracle, DB2 databases we are using. Okay, or PG SQL, PostgreSQL SQL. So it depends from company to company, because the entire company will use only one single database because they take license based on that. So company to company, based on the project you are working, the database will change. Now, what database I am going to use in this personal edition? So when you install Pega Personal Edition, by default, Pega gave us PG SQL database, PostgreSQL database Pega gave us. So we are supposed to use that only in this personal edition. In real time, it can be anything. Oracle, SQL Server, DB2 can be anything. Now, when you install Pega, Java will get automatically installed because Pega is a tool built on Java. Pega was purely built using Java and HTML. So Java will get automatically installed. So if any of you already have Java in your machine, please uninstall it. If any of you have any of these databases in your machine, please uninstall them, because port number conflicts will come for database, environment variables conflict will come for Java. So if anybody is practicing these two, please uninstall them before using Pega. Otherwise, your Pega installation will not be successful. Now, what is server? Again, for non-technical people, this is, the server is like, we put the applications on a server. Okay, so that we want to host it on the web. See, if I build an application in my project, can any person anywhere in the world access it? No, right? So if you want any person anywhere on the web to access it, first we have to host it. We have to put it on a server. You have to put all the security and everything and all. So we use servers to install Pega on that. So servers can be like Apache Tomcat, IBM WebSphere, Oracle, anything can be used. You have nothing to do with these. You are developers. Admin team takes care of all these things. Just good to know. Generally, most of us use Tomcat servers in real time. Now, framework, the actual product is Pega. Okay. So, in the Pega Personal Edition, which I have given you, if you install it, these things are going to get installed. Not your OS. Okay. Database, Java, server, and Pega will get installed. Okay. And this cannot be used to do installation on Mac. So, please make sure that if you have a Mac laptop, try to install VMware or something and use Windows and try to install Pega on it. Okay. Now, anybody has any questions?
Ma'am,
Yes, please.
actually yesterday I have installed the Pega, but here and startup one command prompt is open.
Right.
As you said, it's automatically uh, vanish, but it's still there. But I too got the three icons as well.
Yes, I have explained everything in the installation video, right? So after you successfully install Pega, you will get
Okay.
three icons like this on the desktop. See, one is written as a
Yes, I.
startup, one will be written as login, the third one will be written as shutdown. Please put them in a sequence. Startup at the top, login in between, and shutdown at the bottom. Put them in a sequence. Okay, so every day when you start working, first you have to click on startup. When you click on startup, the Tomcat server will start. Like this, the black screen will come, all the logs will come. Means Pega is starting, Pega is establishing connections with database and everything. So after few minutes, just give it a 1 minute or 2 minutes. After few minutes, come back and hit on the login icon. Generally, you'll find a message here. Server starts in some milliseconds, but sometimes in the overlook we will miss that message. So that is okay. Just click on startup. Okay, where is that? Just click on startup. Give it 2 minutes and immediately click on login. Okay, the home screen will come in any browser. And please use only Edge or Chrome browser for Pega. Internet Explorer is not suggested. Okay, use only Chrome or Edge for Pega. And then once you are done with your work, make sure you click on the shutdown button. If you do not click on the shutdown button and you shut down your laptop, Pega will crash, and tomorrow when you want to work on it, it is not going to open. So make sure you shut down PRPC before you shut down your laptop. And when you're working on Pega, please do not close this window like this, please. If you close it, it's again crashing the server. Let it remain in the bottom. Don't touch it. When you click on shutdown, another black window will come and both the windows will get closed automatically. If they're not getting closed, click it multiple times, like second time, give it some time, third time, give it some time. Still not getting closed, then close them manually. Okay. So, and everybody, please install software before next Friday's session because we will start practicals by day 5 or day 6. And then, if you start installation and if you come back and say, I have technical issues, unable to install software, laptop issues, I need some time, you will not do the practicals in parallel with me and you will be the first person to go out of track in the training. So, please make sure all your issues are fixed before the practical start.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Somath. Is there any requirement to installation the software like RAM need this much only
Yes,
capacity?
I'm going to tell it. See, the thing is like you need 8 GB RAM and a minimum i5 processor for Pega. Minimum i5 processor and 8 GB RAM.
Minimum i5.
i5 rest.
Yeah,
i3 with
I
FP
have
stage.
Java.
Will
No,
that work?
man, it will be pretty slow. Try to install it and see how it is performing. Ideally, it should be slow. If it is not slow, you're good to go.
Okay.
I have Java installed in my system and some IDEs like IntelliJ, DB and all.
You will have
So
issue
if I install
100%.
Pega,
Yeah, yes, you will have issues. So you need to
okay.
uninstall
So
it,
do I
clean
need
up
to
everything.
completely remove like the?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, you have to.
got it.
Raj, whatever definition you have given is correct, but we have people from non-IT background. So for them to understand, that is how I need to explain what a database is. So that's okay. Now, anybody has any questions? We are at the top of the hour for the session. Any questions, guys? Sayed, you have any question? I just saw your hand raised.
Yeah, that's on the regarding installation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if no
So
questions,
Nikila,
that's it for the day.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, Nikhila, one last question. Actually, which version we are going to install?
8.7. I told you right from 8.8, you
Okay,
don't
okay,
have personal edition.
okay. Okay, it's clear. Thank you.
Mhm.
Nikila,
Mhm.
hello, I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So Nikla, like in starting, you tell like we have Java and .NET to build all these applications. Are using reduce our time, and so still we are using Java and .NET to build all these applications. So it's just because Pega cost is very high, or is there any segregation also in this?
I didn't get you. Java and all, I didn't get you.
See, actually, like through Pega, we are building in web application and mobile applications, right?
Mhm.
So, and same thing we can do through languages also. We can build an
Mm.
web
Right,
application
right,
and
right.
mobile application. So still we are using languages to build all those applications. Is just because Pega is very high cost, or
See,
why we still
as I
using?
told you, see, return on investment we are looking for. So I can't bring a high expensive tool and
Okay, okay,
build
that's
a tier
yeah,
3,
yeah.
tier 4 application, right? So I look for
Okay,
the
so then the
project
cost.
criticality, how much
Okay.
business it is bringing me and all.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, and 1 second before you go to the next question, guys. Guys, the recordings of the session will be shared to you within an hour after the session, and it will be placed in the app. I'm going to share you the app link in the WhatsApp group. Okay, it will be present in it, and the recordings will have read-only access valid for 8 months. Okay, so please try to make the best use of it. I'll be sharing all the details in the WhatsApp group. Okay, you just need to install the app, register with your mobile numbers, and once I grant you the access, you should be in a position to access them. So please install it. I'll share the links in the group. And of course, you can you
Nikila,
even
can you hear me?
1 second. Yes, you are audible. You can access the web version of it as well. I'll share you the link as well to access it from the laptops. Yes, please. You're audible. Tell me.
Yeah, actually, previously I have done one or two projects for PostgreSQL. For that, I am using Ubuntu as my OS.
Mhm.
I have checked whether if Pega can be helpful for that or not, but it seems like it's compatible for Pega, I guess. Ubuntu, the OS which I'm using now.
Mhm. So I
Do I
doubt
need to
that
change it to
because
Windows
yes,
or
yes,
just
you have to
like
go to
to
Windows.
continue with this?
No, I doubt if you can install on that because we
Yeah,
only
I will
I
change it.
because I never saw anybody or anywhere in the configuration files of Pega saying that it works on Ubuntu. I only saw Windows, Linux, Unix, being used. So I doubt if it's going to work. Please try to switch to
Sure, sure.
Windows.
I will change it then.
Mm,
Sure,
sure.
definitely. Yeah, thank you. And
Okay.
also, most of us are using i3 laptops, I guess. So if we use some external RAM accordingly, then it won't be
See,
any
it's
hassle,
all
right?
about the processing speed, right? So how fast it opens
Yes.
and how fast you can, excuse me, how fast the rules will open when you're practicing. So if your processor is no below i3, you may not have that speed experience, and you may find it difficult when you're practicing. So just see how it is
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
behaving
got it.
once you install. Based on that, you can decide.
Yeah, thank you. We'll check it
Absolutely.
out.
One more thing before we log off, guys. Please make sure you play the recording and you listen to it, although you're a part of live training. Okay? Because in the next session, I'm going to ask you what are the various studios we have in Pega. So today it is a very small topic we have discussed, but going forward, you will be covering a lot of content. So make sure every time, watch the recording again and be prepared for the next session for me to ask you questions. Okay? So take some time. And other thing, those who have taken previous batch recordings as complimentary, slowly the access will be revoked, guys, because I don't want you people to travel on two boats. Follow only one training batch videos. Following this and that is going to, make you end up no in something else. So only follow one batch recordings. Follow only the homework here. Follow only the practicals here. Don't follow two things. It's not going to work out in a longer run. Initially you may find some time. Initially maybe like till 10 classes you will find lot of time. You will think, I have lump sum time, why don't I study the no. But later on, you will be overloaded with the homeworks. So I suggest you not to rely on two batch recordings. Stick to one. Whichever it is, stick to one and follow that. Okay, don't do double things. It's not going to help you because I have seen people doing all that and didn't help them. So I'm suggesting you. Okay, any questions before we log off?
Akhila, regarding material, do you
Material is
provide
okay, but I
any?
am not Akhila, I'm Nikhila.
Sorry,
Yes,
Nikhila. Sorry,
yes,
I'm
you will be
sorry.
receiving the material. So every day after the training, the same day's relevant content material, PPT or PDF will be uploaded in the same folder. So recording, material, screenshots of practicals in the same folder of day one, day two, day three. So in that way, I'm going to place it.
Okay, thank you, Nikhila.
Sure. Okay.
So, yeah, the next question is
Yes.
Friday.
Yes, please. Most probably Friday. But if people have challenges in installation, maybe we'll resume on Saturday. Just one day buffer I'm going to give them so that everybody comes on track with the installations. Otherwise, mostly from Sunday or I have to start the practicals. So maybe I may take one buffer day if many people have installation issues. Otherwise, we will resume from Friday. Okay. Okay, guys, perfect. Thank you so much. Recording will be uploaded within an hour and you can access it. In the meanwhile, install the app and register, guys. Please register. Only if you register, immediately whatever content I post, it will come. If you don't register before I grant you access, it will again take one day for you to get the access. So that's the reason I'm asking you to register into the app. People who are located out of India, use email ID to register. People in India use phone numbers to register. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Sure,
Have
we'll
a
do
nice
it.
day. Bye bye.